Hi, welcome back to another episode of Stay on Target, where we do everything but. We got some fun things coming at you today. Lots to talk about. Intensity. Engage. Welcome back again. We are on episode 9. Nobody's listening! It was an intense episode. It had me at the edge of my seat. I almost fell off at least once.
At least.
I'm Dustin. I'm your host. And with me, as always, I have to my right,
Nick.
And to his right,
Matt.
And in front of us, also behind us, but also in front of us, steering the ship.
But behind us.
But behind us.
It's me, Dan.
It's Dan. You know him, you love him. He steers the ship. He keeps us on track. At least going the right way.
Where's the wheel?
Spaceships have a big wheel, right? Like a bus.
A bus. Dan's the space bus driver.
Don't make me pull this bus around.
Oh, man.
Pull this bus around?
Pull
Where
this
is
bus
it?
in
Around the
space.
bend?
I'm out. I'm done. Yes! It was an intense episode. Let's get right into it. We have some non-spoilers. This is our non-spoiler section.
Yeah, sure.
We're going to try our bestest not to spoil it for you all, but we got words, we got thoughts, we got things to say and do and eat.
What?
Let's start us off.
What do we have to eat?
What do we?
Usually we have like juicy fruit.
Juicy? That's gum. You can't eat
I
that.
wonder what kind of like snacks they have in Star Wars. Like that's
Bantha
like
bits.
that. That's perfect. Bantha
It's
bits.
like beef jerky, but with bantha.
Dude, we should make that and sell it.
How about?
Well, we need a
Bantha
bantha
bits.
for that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into this episode. It was intense.
Yes.
Not literally, says the fact checker.
Yeah. Because it's just such a great joke. It's not old at all.
It's a great joke. Don't you ever diss that joke.
Sigh. Heavy sigh. All right. Yeah. What are you talking about?
Let's start off some pros of this episode. I did not. There was only like one moment in this whole thing that I was kind of like, eh. But the whole episode from start to beginning, I was intrigued.
Yeah.
I was ready to
Dan's
rock.
just laughing, steering the ship into an asteroid.
Well, I don't know why Dan's laughing.
We don't know what's
All
happening.
right, let's just keep going.
We're all
No.
gonna die.
It was. We're losing it here.
You said start to beginning. You said all the way from the start to the beginning.
Oh.
I don't know why. I just lost it.
Oh, man, I'm
From
sorry.
start to beginning.
Start
this thing
to
really-
beginning.
Intensity, engage.
We're
I don't know
starting
why,
off this
but
show awesome.
Nobody else
Right.
caught that, and I think that made it twice as
I
funny.
know. I was like, why is he laughing? He's gone manic.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
mad.
Manic panic.
But it
Well,
was
if
from,
we've
from
learned
beginning
anything-
to end. You thought it was pretty good, right?
Beginning, yeah. Start to the beginning.
Start to the beginning. That's the
I
only
didn't
good part of
realize
this
I said
episode.
that.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It's hard to say words.
Yeah, it's hard.
Comment if you heard that.
Yeah, seriously.
Maybe
Go back and find
maybe
it.
I just heard it. And I am
Next week, we're
crazy.
going to have a video just looping that and Dan
Start
laughing.
to beginning. Like one of those memes is like, they're trying to figure out
You
like
know.
mathematic equations in
Yeah,
their head. They're
it's
like,
No, I'm
What's
saying
going
you're
on?
gonna go back and listen, and you didn't say that, and then people are gonna be like, this whole segment.
Like, Dan's
was
Dan's
really-
just heard
stuff.
We went off on
He
a
is
talk about
insane.
this.
And
for
he's
3
the only one with
minutes.
headphones on.
Dan's hearing voices again, everybody.
Okay. So we start off this episode back in the prison, baby.
Yeah, back in the prison.
Yes.
Wait, no, non-spoilers.
That's not a spoiler, is it?
Is it?
I don't
It's
know.
the very beginning of the episode.
Have we been in the
There was.
Well, they were in the prison when we left. They're still in the prison.
Yeah. It's true.
spoil?
That's not
That's
a spoiler.
that's a spoiler.
Things-
People don't know where this is going, and you just ruined it.
Oh my goodness. I love ruining things.
Ruined.
I love saying words.
Okay, yeah, go on.
No, but pros. I was saying pros of this episode were it was, just the tension. You could cut the tension with a knife. This
Yeah.
whole episode. You
For
just
sure.
wanted to know where we were going.
A plastic knife.
Literally with
Your hand.
With your hand.
Intensity.
Yes.
As long as you don't cut the cheese.
Okay.
All right.
Dustin, we may need to discuss your contract with this show.
Dad jokes coming in hot.
Well, what'd you think of this episode, Nick? Please save
Yeah.
us.
I thought it was intense. I thought
We already
did a
used that joke.
they did a good job with the story and where it's going. And
It's hard, isn't it?
it is. No, it's like you said, you're on the edge of your seat.
Yeah.
You're like, what's gonna happen? Like, I felt like something was gonna happen. Kind of did, but it wasn't as big as I thought it was gonna be.
Right.
But it's still like the ending, the ending rolls about and you're like, more.
Yes.
I want more.
Yeah.
Please. And that's why I'm hoping next week they just release all 3 episodes.
Oh man, if they just released
And
all
just like
3,
a finale.
yeah,
That'd be great.
You heard it here first. If that happens, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
They
Nick
got
is a
the idea
genius.
from us.
From us, of course.
Yes.
They don't have things planned out.
Never. They're like, what is
Well.
this YouTube show talking about?
Let's follow
That
what
nobody
they say.
knows.
They can't even put words together, and let's follow what they say.
Let's follow what they
Start
say.
to beginning.
Start-
We know
let's
what's
start
going
at the
on.
beginning.
When few were
Let's
do
go
trick.
back to the beginning. All right, Matt. What do you think of this episode? Give us your thoughts, your non-spoilery thoughts. Break it down for us.
Break it down.
I'll
Bit
break it
by
down
bit.
every second segment. Anyway,
Yeah.
Every second
int-
segment.
it was very intriguing, like you guys
Mhm,
said,
mhm.
edge of seat. But yeah, I mean,
You're the action guy. What'd you
But,
think?
yeah.
What'd you
there
think?
was an
You pointed this out.
action.
You pointed it out.
Oh, yeah.
Without spoiling
Yes.
anything.
This isn't spoiling.
Nope, you can say it.
Okay. So this episode was limited on action.
Yeah.
And going by the
Template.
template, yeah, sure. The 3-stage template.
3
Yeah.
episode.
You would
arc
have
type
thought there
template,
would
yeah.
have been action in this episode, which there wasn't.
There
So
weren't.
There was
weren't.
like a
there
tiny
twas
bit,
not.
but really, yeah, not really.
It
more
was more
dark
like-
side of. If I'm thinking of what you're thinking.
yeah.
It was more like it's just suspense.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
word. That's a good word for it. Suspense,
So,
this whole episode.
Suspense action.
Yeah, and you just I think the overall tone and theme of this episode was the Empire is dark.
Yeah.
Like I think this is some of the darkest stuff we've heard and seen in the
Yes.
Empire. At least boots on the ground, like at a ground level. We've heard about these atrocities and really we've seen them blow up a planet.
Right.
That
This
you
is
hardly get
fairly
any more dark than that.
Right.
But it's not as apparent. You know, they talk about like even like people in war whenever they're like flying drones and blowing things up,
Yeah.
they're separated from that in a
Mhm.
way, you know.
Disconnected.
In a way, it still affects people, but this we're seeing it firsthand.
Yeah.
And whenever you see things firsthand like this,
Getting they
it just takes it to a whole
Drives
nother
the point
level.
home.
And the creativity of the darkness in this is fascinating.
Psychologically thrilling.
Yeah. This is a psychological thriller in some ways. It's a dark, gritty thriller, and there's not a lot of action, but it's still one of the most. I like this episode
Yeah.
a lot. Like
It's well written.
it's very well written.
Very well executed.
Some good. There was even a character arc,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat, in this episode alone.
Yeah.
And it's of one of our favorite actors. I think. I think you did a fantastic job. Dan,
Yes.
what do you think of this episode?
Well, I don't know the joke about intense.
Me neither.
But-
You had to say it again, though.
Yes, because
I wasn't
it's
in
the
on
word
this
that
one.
I
Full
used
circle.
to describe. Verisimilitude is the word I used to describe real life like movies, right?
Yes,
And then I
suspension
think
of disbelief.
intense is heavy. This episode had all of the weight on its shoulders.
You keep saying that word.
I don't think it means what you're thinking.
No. From Back to the Future, he says, "Is there something wrong with the Earth's
There's that
gravitation-"
word again. Heavy. Is there something wrong with Earth's gravitational pull in the future?
Sorry, I
Good
just
quote. Good quote. I actually saw it.
Keep going. Sorry.
But yeah, no. This episode had a lot of heaviness going on,
Yeah.
and it ended kind of in this way last episode.
Mhm.
You know the ISB's twisted. Without spoiling anything, that like Dustin said, the Empire is really dark, and they've blown up planets just at the blink of an eye. We watched it in episode 4, and but yeah, you're far removed from that. But if you, let's say, you take it to that planet and you watch the people as they're about, they see the laser beam coming in, a dad holding the child, and then it blows up. But you follow the dad and the child all day, and then the planet blows up. You have a different emotional reaction to that.
Yeah.
Then in this kind of episode, like Dustin said, it drove you not like a 30,000-foot view. It's like you're on the ground, you're in the mind, you're with the twisted, psycho, crazy guy that was describing stuff. I mean, it's like
that was okay.
And then the only thing I'm going to say is you said something about a parent, and I am a parent. And I couldn't log in quite to our Disney Plus. And I said, but then it said, do you want the child profile or the adult? And I said child. And I'm like, is this permissible on a child profile? It was a question that I genuinely had because once we got in, I wasn't sure if it was child or adult.
No, you did. You weren't on the child one anymore. You switched to your regular one.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think mine might be I'm a child.
I'm a child.
No,
I don't know. It was just I don't know if I could show a certain age this episode.
Nah. Because we have a children's one at our house, and I know we can't watch, I don't think you can watch Rogue One. I don't think you can watch a lot of those Star Wars movies on the kids' profile because they're over a certain age range.
But then they combined with Fox, right? And you can watch even more mature stuff. Anyway, it's a tangent, right?
Yeah.
Disney Plus?
Combined with what?
I thought there was a whole
what
other...
else you can watch.
Okay.
I know there's some Marvel shows that they have.
Well, there was
14
plus.
I see what you're saying.
Remember that? There was 14 plus Marvel stuff that came out.
And but that's
again, that child was below 14.
It is. Yeah.
So that you couldn't watch that on the children one. Then.
It won't let you. I think it's just cartoons mostly.
Yeah. So I don't know what this show would be rated. This particular episode.
Oh man,
this would be almost rated R, but not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, 13. I don't think you could classify it as R just because there wasn't profanity, there wasn't nudity, there wasn't gore. I mean, it was dark though. Psychologically, I would put it as R because of the topics discussed. And but in that, what you were just saying a minute ago about one of the darkest, we'll get into it in spoilers.
Yeah,
but
that
it was like it was a dark thing they did, and now they use that dark thing they did to do something else more dark and twisted.
Well, and then the
layers of dark, it's like Batman.
The character delivering that, it shows you the disconnect that is happening.
And the almost joy. That's the creepy part.
It is. It's really creepy.
That's the thing that they're really nailing in this episode is how twisted some of these Imperial agents are.
Yeah.
It so well mimics the Nazi regime so well. It feels like a World War II movie that they took and they put it in Star Wars in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
and with some spy thriller aspects. And man, you just want to know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, there's it's a boiling point.
It is
it's about to bubble over.
Yeah,
and I feel like the next episode it's just going to explode.
I'll say the only thing though that was kind of surprising in some ways is they didn't show one character that we've been following almost this whole time at all in this episode.
Which one?
We did not see.
Spoil?
Well, that might be. We'll talk about it more in spoilers. I guess
well,
it's not really a spoiler. It's not really a spoiler. I just thought that was interesting because we really didn't divulge too much from 3 storylines in this one because technically there's kind of a fourth going on with the guy who hires everybody. You know what I'm talking about.
Art
deal.
Yeah.
Art dealer.
I got
we
it
can
now.
say his name, but we just didn't see him in this episode. And
yeah,
I just thought that was interesting. It was an interesting choice. And we also got a scene. We're going to be showing you a video later that Dan
we
did
totally
that was
called it.
hilarious.
We've been calling it for 3 episodes. 4
Cyril,
episodes.
and we'll let you guys watch it later, but we called it, and that scene was cringe, also but hilarious.
Super cringe.
But still really well done. Yeah, creepy.
Creepy cringe.
It was. I really enjoyed it though.
That's what I'm saying. This show, you can't look. You just can't look away. It's just I don't like that person,
right?
But I want to see what they do in this scene right now,
right?
With that person that I don't like, or whatever's happening.
Andor.
Andor.
Got it. Roll credits. Cold open.
Speaking of dad jokes,
That was our cold open.
man, but that's what like you said, yeah. It's that's what I love about the show. The show was dark and heavy. This particular episode, but I love it even more for it because again, it's taking us to new heights that we didn't know we wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
And just different places. Like, wow, this was like a mind games episode, and last one was a different type of prison. Shawshank Redemption, and the one before that was a World War II epic, and the one before that was like Schindler's List. I mean, it's just like it's every level or every episode keeps leveling up.
Yeah,
It's
I
cool.
completely agree. It feels like we have actual creative people writing, like professional
Yeah.
creatives.
Like this is what they do for a living.
Yeah, like the
Like
you
they've
know,
had a lot of success in movies and whatnot.
right? Yeah,
And they're not
Yes.
just pushing an agenda.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
they
even though
they are pushing one, which really annoys me. But
at least
that was the only scene.
at
in
least
this.
they're not,
They're not totally
hammering
beat-
over the head.
But they have. It's almost like they have to mention it every episode now.
Yeah, it's like they got
Like,
meet
they
their
can't
quota
not.
or something.
And that's the part that irritates me.
Yeah.
It's and don't bring that into Star Wars. It drives me crazy when you do that. It's stupid, and it brings me right out of the. That's what takes me out of the show. That's the only thing that takes me out of this show is whenever they're pushing an agenda.
It's
A
like,
tiny one. It's not big, but it's still
It's
enough.
like
It's like
when
a
you're-
minor. It's like oh man, this is super good.
Yeah.
Like I like riding this ride, but I'm getting a slight stab every
Yeah.
once in a while. You
Yeah.
know, I'm like,
It's like you're talking about one thing, going super in depth about it, like listing all the details about, and then it just shifts to something completely
Yeah.
different.
right. And you're like, well, that was out of left field.
why does that even belong in here?
Yeah.
Just get it out of here. Like you're breaking my concentration.
That's the only negative thing I'd say about this show. And there was only one other thing that stood out to me that was, I would just say the speed, which it's a pro and a con. There's a scene where they're talking about a lot of things in rapid succession.
Yeah, that's I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
It-
Like you can't catch it all.
No,
I think it's mostly because of the accents.
but at the same time, I like the fact that they're treating Star Wars fans and the viewer, the fan,
Like
intelligently.
they're not stupid.
yes,
Yeah, because we're not.
they're not.
Hello.
They're not over explaining everything.
Yeah.
They're not
No.
going into detail to be like, all right, we're speaking to 5-year-olds on this one. You know, like Obi-Wan and
Little Leia.
the other one. Yeah, it was like everything was over explained. Nothing made sense though
Yeah.
still, even when they were trying to explain it. But this one, they just rapid fired. I would have just said maybe give us a sec to understand what's going on because there was a lot of information. I
There
think
was.
maybe on a second watch through, we'll understand more of
Right.
it.
But yeah, I couldn't understand half the words they were saying.
Yeah.
It was like
The
foreign,
accents,
it
too,
was like a
was
foreign language to
challenging.
me. I know they're speaking English, but I was like, what did they say? Like I was trying to
What did he
compute,
say?
and they just kept going, and I was like, wait, no, go back.
yeah. No,
I can't follow this
Yeah.
right now.
Well, the part of it was that they were using names of, I think, people,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't. Did they introduce that person? When they start
Right.
doing that, I'm like, when they name drop, that's what
Yeah.
I'm just not
Names
as
are
good
tough
with
to
names.
follow.
I'm like,
Yeah.
unless I have a face to go with it, I don't know who
Exactly.
you're talking
Right.
about and what you're gonna do with
Yeah,
them.
I think
there were two names.
Dose.
yeah. Well, we can
But yeah,
mention
I
them in
don't-
spoilers.
Because Star Wars names are kind of unique anyway, so
Yeah.
they sound
Yeah.
similar. You're like,
Except Tim.
yeah, that was the
Tim.
most un-Star
And he
Wars
died,
name.
so
then he
it's
died instantly.
He obviously didn't belong.
You gotta kill the regular guy off. He's the red shirt.
He's the basic white male.
Basic, yeah, exactly. Except he was like Scottish or something, wasn't he?
Scottish.
I think so.
Yeah,
But
I was gonna
He
say.
was white.
yeah,
the
go ahead,
last
Dan.
thing I
had
was
to
gonna
go.
say.
Go ahead, Dan.
Was that that's the thing. I agree with you on that. That this is a smart show.
Yeah.
and they do treat people like intelligent human beings, not Disneyfied, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's
Right.
got
Oh,
some of the
everything's-
controversial stuff maybe, but it's not Disneyfied like the bad Disney stuff.
Right.
Like some of the good Marvel stuff is like unbelievable under Disney's watch. Some of the other Marvel stuff under Disney's watch is a
It's
joke.
Yeah.
And this is the same with Star Wars. Like some of it's just unwatchable,
yeah.
consistently unwatchable, and this is consistently like
Watchable.
yes, watchable and compelling. You're
This
like, I
one
want to
I'll-
watch more of
yeah,
this.
you wanna
Why can't
binge
it all be
watch
this good?
Kind of like Tales of the Jedi. which I did. I binge watched.
Yeah, we are going to release some review videos on that. Look out for those because that was fantastic.
Yeah,
Might
Spoilers.
smack you in the head.
smack you in the teeth.
But yeah, no, I completely agree. I actually, as a Star Wars nerd, I love that they threw a lot of those names out there so quick in some ways because I'm like, yes, give me more information. You're making the universe bigger, and I
Yeah.
like that.
Exactly.
And I think it's kind of name dropping for later. I think that's
introduce them and
you know, with how they've been doing this show, I like the fact that they're setting things up.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like they're not just setting it up for this season. I think
They're
they've already got another
like
couple seasons in
two
mind.
more seasons.
And I think they're even name dropping for the next couple seasons.
Yeah.
See, that has me very excited
And
because
I really hope they do. I know a lot of fans online are not liking this show, but I think it's mostly to do.
How?
I think it's mostly to do with everybody's so jaded against Obi-Wan that I think they've just hit their breaking point and they just want to basically boycott Star Wars.
it's
Because it's like
I don't think it's because they have watched it and they didn't like it. I think it's because they haven't watched it
yeah.
because of those shows.
Yeah, and there's still
Yeah.
some minor things in this that might irritate some fans, like the AK-47, the wokeness, and the slow pace. I feel like is something that will turn a lot of people off. But but I don't. That doesn't bother me
It's
at
world
all.
building.
And it's just because they're so well acted. The scenes
Yeah.
are so well acted. The dialogue is written by professionals. It sounds good.
yeah,
It's
It sounds
intriguing.
believable to be in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, I look forward to the next episode.
Right.
That hasn't happened since The Mandalorian.
Mandalorian.
You know,
well,
really.
I think part of these online
And
people. I think part of the
honestly-
online people. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was
Finish
just
your
gonna say, honestly, I am almost enjoying this. It sounds like heresy, but I'm almost enjoying this more than The Mandalorian, just because I'm really liking the through line,
Right.
the arc that's going on. There's a lot of big story going on in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I know, but if Mandalorian was on, you'd be like, this
I
is
would
the
love it.
best
I
Star
still
Wars
really
thing
love.
ever.
Okay,
I think it's
they're really
because-
close. I'm just saying because
Yeah.
they're different.
Yeah.
They're like like Mandalorian is like classic like OG Star Wars
Yeah.
with with the big popcorn, like this is awesome, epic, and like there's a lot of cool action sequences, and there's still good
Frog
story
lady?
development. And you're
Frog
still
lady.
intrigued, and I think season 3 of The Mandalorian.
Oh,
I'm
it's
really
gonna be
hoping
good.
that because
Yeah.
they just did they announce? I think they just announced recently that that's coming out in I think February.
Cool.
It was January, February. We'll fact check
Something.
that.
Yeah.
But then this one, I just feel like it's Star Wars.
Done right.
It's creative Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's not relying on too much, not relying on nostalgia hardly at all.
Yeah.
It's written like a spy thriller, but in Star Wars, which I feel like
Mhm.
is the way they should be making Star Wars movies. That's
Yep.
what we've always talked about. Put like romantic comedies. I know it sounds silly, but do like a horror
dude,
aspect
if
one.
they did it well, I think they could pull it off.
I do. I really
Yeah.
think you could do every style, every genre of film in Star Wars and pull it off. And I think it would work fantastically. Do a comedy. You could do
comedy.
you could do a hilarious comedy in
Oh,
Star
yeah.
Wars.
Well, they're
For
putting
sure.
it together. I think that's a pretty bold statement that it's up there with Mando, and I
It-
agree.
I'm
with you.
sorry.
Or it could
I
be
think-
better. I don't disagree with you.
yeah.
Actually,
I
I
think-
agree with you.
The reason you like it more is because there's more exposition going on.
It's giving me
And
more
there's-
to chew on.
Yeah,
I think
there's
that's
building the
probably
world.
what
There's
it
more
is.
characters. There's multiple storylines going on at the same time.
It doesn't feel small. It doesn't feel like just
Well,
one thing.
yeah.
It's
And-
like this is a galaxy-wide problem we're having. I know
Right.
where folks and there's like four different main storylines going
Yeah.
on at the same time, which is also intriguing, especially for the time era it's in and where we're going to end up.
Well, and
Yeah.
Mando built new stuff, but it also leaned on familiar characters,
Right, a lot of nostalgia.
familiar faces, familiar names,
Yeah.
and
Which
and
wasn't
it's
necessarily
and then-
bad.
no, but it was
Mando didn't-
refreshing because it was just refreshing after the sequel trilogy,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
but then we also got some payoffs with some of those characters that were
Right.
pretty cool. That you're like, oh man, I'm glad I got to see that.
Yes. Agreed.
And
Mando
But I
didn't-
felt like they almost didn't go far enough for me in Mando
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
ways. I would actually say the best Mando anything that's happened so far, other than Luke Skywalker coming back, I'll say that's probably the best.
Mhm.
But the second best is I still didn't like how it, but the second best is actually the episode of The Mandalorian and
inside of
Boba
Boba
Fett.
Fett,
Boba
yeah.
Fett.
That
Yeah.
was some of the best Star Wars ever made,
Ever.
I would say. That one episode alone, the beginning of that
Right.
epic, And the story, I mean, they jump. I mean, that like, it would take like the whole season of the first season of The Mandalorian, they did in like one episode of Boba Fett,
Right.
which is hilarious that it was in Boba Fett.
Like I said, Mando knows how to do action.
Yes.
Like solid.
Big scope Star Wars
scope
action.
Mhm.
And this show has some cool action too, but it's
Boots on the
more on
ground.
the,
Boots on the ground.
like you said, exposition, world building, slowly building, adding names to the list that I've never heard of, adding actors and characters and well acted, like beyond, because Mando is not faces. It's a helmet. It's aliens. That's what they all said about season 1 and 2. Like, I didn't see a real face until like the 8th episode or something like that directing. But this is all real faces. This is real cinema. This is real locations.
Real locations.
If I do this, it makes it more.
We need to stop doing that. I know I was doing it. I'm saying we all need to stop doing that.
Oh my gosh.
Talking about the Nazis.
Right.
No, shoot. Sorry.
It's so Mando season 3, February 22nd of 2023.
Nice.
2/22/23.
Come back for that.
Wow.
23.
All right. Any we gotta
Interesting.
move on here. What any more non-spoiler thoughts on episode 9? Nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening.
That was a good title too.
No,
They have
but
good
that's
titles.
Yeah, they do.
I like
They
the music.
do.
I like the music.
Yeah,
It's not spoilery, but
yes.
it's good music.
Very Blade Runner-esque.
Yeah.
80s.
And then
synth.
the final music that Dan
Yeah, that
noticed
was
too.
good too.
It was really
That
good.
They just keep the music has changed as the show has changed. So when they started a new arc, they changed the music a little bit. If you go back, and now they're finishing up this arc, even though, like Matt said, it's not a true finish. It doesn't feel like,
Right.
but they're already like starting the finale arc,
Yeah.
I think, and
Yeah.
so they're
Just release the next 3. That's
setting
all
it
I
up
do.
with an epic, heavy.
I just want to watch them all.
This is
I
one of those
agree.
shows that's binge worthy.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude,
if they were to release all of these at the same time, I would not have been able to like control
you'd
myself.
have been like,
I would have watched
I'm
it all
sorry,
night.
guys, I gotta watch it.
I would have.
We would have watched episode 10 right now. We
Oh,
would've
yeah.
We'd
wouldn't
still be going.
We'd still be watching them all.
yeah, we're watching it currently.
Right. Watching again. All right. Well, we're going to go to a quick intermission. And then we'll be back for spoiler talk. So if you haven't seen the episode, stay for the intermission. Also, if you're new here, real quick,
Welcome.
welcome. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies that we're around. We love talking to the community, the Star Wars community. We're all about it. So we're glad to have you here if you're new. Tell your friends. We're just going to keep growing. Now watch this. Laserbrain Gaming. Laserbrain Gaming. Laserbrain Gaming. Laserbrain Gaming. Laserbrain Gaming. Superfluous buns. You thought I was going to say Laserbrain Gaming, didn't you?
Almost did.
Laserbrain Gaming. We'll see you next time on Laserbrain Gaming. You guys want to say anything else before we leave? Any words of wisdom, Matt?
No, not in particular.
See ya.
Round is a shape.
And that'll do it.
Interesting fact. Do you know why they said be there or be square?
Why?
Because if you weren't there, you weren't around.
Ah.
Circles!
It's a conspiracy, I tell you. So stay tuned. We're going to be having some new episodes coming out shortly. And that's on our new channel, Laserbrain Gaming. The channel is up. We just have a few videos on there, but we're going to be starting to release them more regularly. Just like our bowels.
You're fired. You're done.
We're not even discussing
We
your
just started
contract.
getting
Yeah,
viewers.
she's getting
You're just
ripped
out.
up.
Like after this episode, you're gone.
Wow.
You gotta wear a
I
bag
make
over
one
your
poop
head.
joke and you guys
One?
throw me into the wolves.
One.
Hey, if we're gonna rise to the top, we
gotta stand above the poop.
Oh no.
we gotta float ahead.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
This is explosive.
2 of them, Nick.
Yeah.
Poop joke?
Rising
people?
up.
Oh. Two turds on
Two turds.
Two turds in the wind.
Number 2.
Like a turd in the wind.
Anyway, like
Okay.
I was saying, check out those new videos we got coming out on Laserbrain. If you haven't subscribed over there, get over there and subscribe.
over there.
We're gonna be releasing new content,
Get on over
and it's
there.
gonna be hilarious. If you enjoy what you've seen here today, it's gonna be just as enjoyable.
It's gonna be even better.
a little different because there's some gaming involved. We're not just talking at you, although we be talking a lot.
It would be a lot of
We be
nonsense
talking,
is what it would be.
but not at you.
Let's get into these spoilers. All right,
please.
episode 9.
Everybody
Nobody's
dies.
listening. Actually, you haven't seen this episode. Get the heck out of here.
Get the heck out of here.
You should not be listening.
Check your mailboxes.
Check your mailboxes. That's a deep cut right
That
there.
is a deep cut.
All right.
Nobody knows that reference besides me and you.
Yeah, that
And
was.
him.
Check
and
your
him.
mailboxes.
Maybe.
I do.
Now we have to
Might.
explain it.
No,
now
we
you have to
don't.
explain
No, we'll explain
Keep
it.
going.
I'm
Keep
gonna
going.
explain
Spoilers.
it. I
Okay,
like
everybody
explaining.
dies in this episode.
it. Yeah, that's the end.
Not a single soul.
We're not
left
making
in
it
the
to episode
universe.
12.
right?
They were lying.
Well, actually, everybody does die in a certain area of this episode.
There was death.
Oh,
there was
yes.
heavy
There's
death.
A lot of death.
You
There
guys want to
was-
just lead with the darkness? You want to just lean?
Yeah, we
into
gotta
it?
lean into
Just
the
went
dark.
straight for the dark.
We gotta go to the dark and come back to the light, right?
Yeah,
Gotta
let's
Yeah.
do
end
that.
off on the light.
All right.
Dustin,
So we can
take
all
us down
sleep.
this rabbit
You
trail.
want me to take us? Okay.
That is the darkness.
So-
Oh man.
They capture Bix.
yeah.
And they're going to interrogate. That scene was kind of long in some ways.
It
with,
was. It was a lot.
I guess
it was
I-
a lot.
I would say, and she's just kind of creepy and
She
not
is. Yeah.
the most pleasing to look at.
Yeah.
But
They make her very harsh and severe.
yeah,
with, like,
I mean,
eyes
cold and calculated.
like
does
even the
not.
color temperature when she's in the room, it's like,
Bless you.
Yeah.
Just
Well-
drops 15 degrees.
well, you know what I'm saying? Like,
like
when you look
ghostly.
at
Yeah, she's
Skeletal.
fluorescent lights,
kinda
like the
a
Empire,
Hagrid before
it's
she's a
white
Hagrid.
and bluish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you look at the Empire. What are they? Like reds, browns, earth tones.
The Empire?
No, the Rebellion. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Empire has
warmth.
the blue, white, fluorescent lights, and I feel like
Yeah,
the
it's
Empire
harsh.
and their faces are like
Black and
white
white,
because they
yeah.
never see daylight. They're all inside artificially generated
All in
light.
their
Right.
caves.
And so I guess, like you said,
got-
like her, Cyril, all the other, like the lead ISB guy, they're all really harsh.
Well, yeah, and
Anyway,
like you said, even the
harsh
lighting,
tones.
their costumes are all like black, white. You
Yeah.
know, it's like everything is
Right.
like there's no gray
They're
area.
in
There's
a
no
mental
warmth.
asylum.
Yeah, exactly.
Walls. I'm in a padded
Except for they
room.
didn't
But-
go in mental. They're coming out mental.
They were-
Yeah.
well, they saw that. We saw that at the end of episode 8.
7?
Episode 8 with the guy that she was friends with get tortured, right? We saw
Yes.
some come out.
Oh,
of
yeah.
That's where they kind of ended off.
You know,
with
but we've
him.
seen that in movies before or shows. You're like, oh, something bad happened to him, poor guy.
Yeah.
We never. I didn't think they would actually.
go as far as they do in this.
I was
Yeah.
for sure that they would.
It was
just-
like the icing on the cake of that dark scene. It was like the
Yeah.
end. Pack.
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 Yeah, that's the guy. So that's the guy who owned the radio tower thing that she.
Yeah. He owned the junkyard
Yeah, the junkyard.
where the radio tower was.
Right. But yeah, let's go into that scene though real fast and how dark that was. So it took a while to get to the super dark area, but
Yeah.
man, was that dark. Okay,
It was very dark.
Let me sum up.
Let me explain.
So
No, there's too much.
basically, the creepy Dr. Gorg or whatever his
Gorst.
name. Gorst.
He's the worst.
He's
Yes,
Gorst
Uncle.
is the worst. We're gonna do a video on that. Gorst is the worst.
Gorst is the worst.
It's just him smiling like a creeper.
Yeah.
Man, that was creepy.
He
It
didn't lean,
was.
but he didn't lean into the creep. He said it
He
so
embraced it.
casually.
Yeah.
Which makes it creepier.
That's what
Yeah.
made it even creepier. You know,
Makes
like
it even darker.
like you think of the latest Batman movie. Speaking of dark,
Dark.
how
Yeah.
the evil villain of that movie, I don't remember his name.
The Riddler?
Was it the Riddler?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really
He was like, he would say things like casual, but he
Yeah.
also had like a twisted way of accentuating it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I like that, you know, or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
is
yeah.
the tone of his voice. This guy just was like, yes, we were out for a stroll the other day. We went walking and we saw some birds in the tree. You know what I mean?
And we massacred.
And then he's like, and then
No,
they
he
made
didn't say it like that.
and then they made sounds that we, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah. So let's sum up what he said. Basically, in a matter of fact, just whatever, almost like, not almost a joy in some
He's
ways.
doing it with a smile
Yeah,
on his face.
it's
He's not
creepy.
sad
like he's
about it.
proud
No,
of
no,
it.
no, no.
Yeah.
He's like, I love my job.
Yeah. It's like, I'm so good
Get
at my
paid
job.
to do this.
You won't
Yeah.
I get to
believe what
men-
happened
I get to
at the
psychologically
park the other day.
torture
Yeah,
birds.
exactly.
Says it like it's
Yeah. So it was like a race, they described there was a race, and they did this race didn't want the Empire building. I forget
A
what
fuel facility.
facility.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
so
they just
then he just casually says,
Wiped them out.
"Yeah, any means necessary," and he proceeds to smile at that,
Yeah.
like that was the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Because what it led to was when we massacred all this race, alien race, they what? Dizonites is the name of the race that they massacred, which again, props to them for that. They're coming up with like I've never heard of that, obviously, but
I wonder what
they're
they
all
look
gone.
like.
But man, it was genius. Even this torture was genius, but it's super dark. But it's like Twisted Mind. It's like they got the people who made Saw come and did these.
Yep.
But he goes on to explain that the who was it, the radio guys in the Empire
Yeah.
were hearing their cries when they died, when they were being massacred. Holy cow, dark.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying all this in some ways.
Yeah.
And they found the radio operators who were listening on that in a fetal position underneath the bridge. And he's like saying this so matter of fact and almost smiling, like this is the greatest thing we've ever discovered.
It's the
Like those
greatest
guys
achievement
went
ever.
insane, pretty
Yeah.
much. So then he's like, so we took that and we found the worst of the sounds,
Yeah.
pretty much, and we altered them until we found the best one.
Yep.
And it's like creepy as all get
Yeah,
out.
and he's just smiling the whole
And
time.
he also says we think it's the children.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy cow!
Right.
Just turn the
Yes.
knife when you're in there.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it felt
Goodness.
like. I was like, sheesh, this is dark.
Right.
Yeah, it was.
And he delivers it like you guys said, so matter of fact. And then they found that sound using the children that were dying to now make
realize-
psychological
people.
torture, audio torture, which being audio people, we can appreciate that to a certain degree. Not
Not the
they're
torture
doing,
part.
not the torture, but the fact that it was a genius, like that's a smart.
Well, against humanoids, right? That's
Right.
what, that was the breakthrough. Was that this messed up humanoid? Well, it's not
Humans,
humans,
yeah.
but it's like human type.
Right, the frequencies that they make, it makes you
Which-
go crazy. Like you
Yeah.
can't stand it.
The first thing, as
like-
dark as that is, it reminded me of was Chewie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good point. That was a really
In
good point.
And it's-
episode 6.
It's different because Chewie is more like a dog, and it's like
Yeah,
the
but-
high frequency of a
Or five.
dog, but
But I almost
it might
wonder
be
if that's
similar.
similar. They
Yeah.
might be using the same sound.
Yeah.
could be.
It
Yeah,
could have
that
been
part
the same
that part
sound.
was terrifying too, because she puts on the.
Yeah, the headphones.
It's like noise canceling
Yeah,
headphones
it's weird
because it just goes silent.
That's just good
And we all
sound
thought-
design, though. That's good sound
That
design.
was super good
Yeah.
sound.
We were-
Professionals
We
again.
were- sorry, we were afraid we were going to hear it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we were all waiting for. We were all, that's what was genius
But you
about
don't
that.
hear anything.
We had the sound cranked down here when we were watching it, and I was like, "Oh, please don't,"
Yeah, I
like,
was
we're-
like,
we're-
what's gonna happen?
because they had taken you everywhere else.
Yeah.
they'd walked you through it.
But the genius thing about that though still was it was like the shark in Jaws. It's more scary not knowing where it is.
Yeah.
It was like I'm doing a Trump impression right now.
It's
Okay.
more scary. Not knowing where the shark is.
China.
It's great. I love
China.
it. I'm on the edge of my seat in the boat.
Yes. But no, it was genius though because it goes dead silent and all you're hearing is her, which is worse.
Yeah.
It's the reaction of the sound you're hearing. So you can
Yeah.
only use your imagination
Yeah.
to find out, and your imagination I feel like is going to go worse places
Right.
than what them actually showing it. Another genius move.
Yeah.
Super dark though.
And
I'm
then it
like,
just
this
ends
is
with-
not for kids.
It ends with her screaming.
yeah.
And that transitions back to Cassian,
Yep.
Yep.
who's having
Well,
a nice.
no, actually, right before that. Sorry. Whenever. Well, no, it does. I think it does go there, and then it goes
turns
back.
into the saw of the thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Another
Brilliant
genius transition.
transitions.
Yeah.
And then it's back to Cassian, who's having a nice hunky dory meal, and he's like, "I hope my friends are good because I'm doing fine." No.
Yeah. Right.
By the way, everything that
great
you
in
touch,
prison.
Cassian, gets tortured or blown up or burned, or they die, or they go
Yeah,
insane.
That is another thing that we are learning about the Empire in this episode specifically, that the Empire will go to any means necessary. And they are hammering that fact in
Yep.
and how they care so little about people. And they will use anybody you've come into contact with. The only thing, well, I'll get into this in a minute, but did you guys want to say anything more about that interrogation scene?
but
what'd you
before
think
we
on
do,
it?
Carl Hawkins said, "Good evening, stay on target."
Oh,
Good evening. Thanks for tuning in.
Sorry, we're at the dark part of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good evening.
It'll get lighter from
No,
here.
What'd you think, Nick,
I
on that?
yeah, no, I think you touched on it. it was touched on everything. Like it was just it terrifies you
Yeah.
because it showed. I don't think like up to this point, I don't think we've seen anything in Star Wars like cinema that has gone this far into the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't really know about the books. I haven't read many of them. But
There's been
yeah,
some dark stuff in the
it's
book.
like they're pushing the limits here.
Definitely. This is, I think, by far one of the, at least psychologically, dark things they've shown. I mean, they've shown like torture, like the effects of the torture. They've never actually like told you what it is.
Or dog torture, you know, Chewie.
Chewy, I guess that's the word, and that could be this. I think if they link those two, I'm like, that is a genius move. I
Right.
like that they're adding to Star Wars by connecting them in that way.
I half wonder when they started talking, I started thinking of the Wookiees.
The Wookiee cookies.
That's what originally I thought. I don't know why, but I did.
But I did.
What would you prefer, that torture or like the needle torture from like Leia had to go through?
Wait, what do you mean? Which would I prefer
Yeah.
to go through?
Yeah, like
I
the
don't know.
sound one
I think
or
I think
like
the needle
drug
one was just it was like truth
Serum.
Okay, you'd probably almost rather go through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you're
well-
scared of needles, I suppose.
It
Yeah.
didn't.
I mean,
it
I'm,
didn't involve her.
terrified of needles.
Although was she like was
So
Leia
yeah,
like
I take the other
screaming?
one.
Oh man. What?
Anyway, I don't know. We're not torture trained. What does Leia like yelling when they went away with?
No.
I don't
no,
remember. It was
no.
kind of
Just
intense though.
The door
Couldn't have
shuts.
been that bad.
And that's
Which-
the end of the scene.
Which the
Yeah.
fact checker did point out that there is a scene at the end of when they close the door. It's the same transition. It's almost to a T the same scene where they close the door on the droid going to Leia, and then somebody walks by.
Yep.
It's the same thing in this
Oh.
one. They
Parallel.
really took their inspiration from the original trilogy on that, and that's what I appreciate.
Mhm.
They're honoring what came before in this show.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Contrast that with literally 10 seconds, and then I'm never going to talk about it again.
Except for next episode.
Yeah, right.
Obi-Wan Kenobi torture or whatever she was threatening with
Oh my
baby
gosh.
Leia. Remember that like interrogation scene?
That
That is how you do not do it.
was
Right.
terrible.
Even though she was trying to be creepy with the little kid and whatnot, it just was so weird and,
and then they
awkward.
almost went there.
Yeah.
Like,
And then they still almost went there, and then it was just like, this is. I mean,
This is low.
it was
yeah.
bad. It was just
Yeah.
bad,
right.
poorly
You're
written.
just like, shut it off. This,
All right,
this isn't
yeah.
good.
it was not compelling.
Because they were trying to recreate the Leia. You know, oh, she's been there before. You know.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's where I feel like they fundamentally missed in Obi-Wan Leia, because they portrayed Leia like she was adult Leia in a child's body.
Yeah.
That's where it was like, it was stupid. It was like,
She's-
okay, you're
yeah.
pretending like she's already an adult, but she's only supposed to be 5. What was it? It's like 5, I think, 5 or 6.
6.
But
But
it
she was like,
and that's
5.
the thing. And then so
or
that's
no,
why
she was
they,
supposed to be 8.
No, she was supposed to be.
but she was 6.
Okay.
in real life,
Yeah.
right? And she seemed like she was 5.
Yeah.
So that's where they
doing?
fundamentally
Went
missed
down
that.
in
That's
age?
why it was so bad, because it was like, you're gonna have a torture scene for like an 8-year-old.
Hey Matt, did you see that one?
Like, did you ever watch Obi-Wan?
I gave up on it.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I don't.
Which
I don't
you're
I
not
don't
missing
blame you,
much.
man. Yeah, it's probably
I-
better off for
I've
it.
seen some, but
It's more like a
bad.
fever dream
Yeah,
that
this
Obi-Wan
is,
had.
This
I
is
had zero
how you
hope
do a
for it.
show.
Yeah, you knew. We all knew going into it. That's what I had. We all said before, like,
This is gonna be
this
bad.
is gonna be bad.
We watched it because Ewan McGregor was in it,
Yeah.
and he can act. But they
Out of
didn't give him
everything,
anything.
it should have been the best. It should have been the best. It wouldn't have been difficult if they would have just followed that Kenobi book. Honestly,
Yeah.
that would have made it amazing.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Yep.
just a disaster. All right, let's move on from that. Though,
Yeah.
okay, well, we could talk about that forever, and we have.
All
All right.
Let's move on from torture to
Well,
more torture.
Matt, what did you think about? I wanted to get Matt's thoughts on that torture scene and how dark this episode's
You
got.
covered it.
You
Yeah.
covered it. Yeah.
Was there anything else like dark in this episode that you thought? No, I mean, I think there was another scene or two that really kind of pushed the
there's
envelope.
definitely some dark scenes.
How do you? Does that bother you in this, or does that keep you intrigued? I know you're more of an action guy, but
Right.
what do you think?
Basically, does
I
that
don't want to say it doesn't like bother me. In a
Do you
sense,
like
'cause
torture?
I feel like you'd be considered a psychopath. You say it doesn't.
I'm really not trying to
Like-
set you up that way. I was just curious your thoughts on it.
Like
no,
somebody
I
watches it
mean-
and they're like, that was boring.
I guess what
That's
he's
normal.
I'm really not
Despite the
setting this
fact
up well. Sorry.
Despite the fact that there was no action, would you be happy substituting that for psychological torture?
I'm not trying to say
Action, psychological torture. It fills
Psychological
the
action?
gap.
If you,
Just kidding. No,
if you
he's
could
not
come up with
saying
your own
that.
torture. No, I'm
Right?
just-
What would you do to
Oh,
torture
How would you
someone?
go about this?
Make
All
him
right.
watch Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Right? Yeah. Turn it off.
Full
Turn it
circle.
off.
I would rather take the other torture than watch that series again.
Oh my gosh.
I'd rather listen
Have
to
to
the
tape their
what were they
eyes.
called? The
Tape their eyes open.
Diane, what?
Dizzy-atites or
Disneynites.
Disneynites.
Why does it sound like a medieval like?
Disney.
Yeah.
Meta Knight.
No, I'm thinking like
Meta-nights?
like medieval knights,
Yeah.
knights of the round table. Talk to the
Arthur.
game.
Oh, man. Yeah, the knights who say, "Nyeh."
Oh, we gotta bring it back. Actually, okay, we gotta still. There's one other dark part.
Well,
actually,
there
the
was
whole
one other
episode's
sad
dark.
part.
Yeah.
But this whole episode just kept you on the edge of your seat, right, Nick?
Yes. Edge of my seat.
I'm literally falling
That's
off
it.
right
That's
now.
all I gotta say. Yeah. Right. Ooh, there we go. Yes.
But back to
Okay.
the back to
Yeah.
the prison where we're like,
Yeah, yeah.
The
we gotta
prison.
get out.
Well-
and how many times did we say in this episode, "Is this the time they're gonna break"?
Right.
Yeah, we were just all waiting for it the whole episode. I thought we were gonna
break.
get, because what Matt said, the 3 episode arc. Usually, the third one in the arc is action. So
Action.
I kept thinking that they had to get out in this episode. That's what I kept thinking. So I was like, is he gonna go now?
It's the
Is he
only
gonna go
reason I
now?
came tonight.
Yes.
Matt was so
Wow.
hyped up for action.
And then he got
instead
tortured.
The
Torture
torture
was
did
like,
not
oh,
fill
okay.
the gap, is what he
He
said.
didn't like. He thought it was a little too easy going.
They went
It
too
wasn't
easy
dark
on her.
enough for him.
Not enough people died.
Right.
Oh man.
Wow. Okay. No. But yeah, there was one other dark scene. We can get to that in a minute. Do we want to go happy and then back dark? Or do
No,
you
we're
think-
going dark.
Just go to
We're dark. So
So it's getting lighter though. I think we started at the dark.
there's a light at the end of this tunnel. It's not very much.
I mean,
but
it
there
gets
is.
heavy. It stays heavy.
It's heavy light.
It's like a candle
It's
20
like
miles
It's
away.
like darkness,
20
and
miles
then you.
It's lighting up so much. 20 miles
perfect
away.
Analogy. There's some light at the end of the tunnel. Tunnel.
Tunnel.
Tunnel.
It's at the end of the channel.
Tunnel. Gold open.
Go over. Intensity. Engage.
We got this. We got this.
We're gonna take over the.
All right. Yeah. Go into that dark moment. Yeah.
Well, it
wow.
was-
Yeah, Dan, you go.
It was like it was like somebody shut the lights off and really dark, and then like they gave us a weighted blanket on top of that in the
and then
prison.
they doused it in gasoline.
and they set it on fire.
no. That's gonna be next episode. I think where they're
Yes.
gonna light everything on fire.
Yeah, I just think the prison, like the poor guy, was kind of heavy as he was kind of losing it.
Old
yeah.
Crazy.
Ulaf.
Olaf.
Olger. I almost said Olger.
All I thought,
Olga.
it's it's Olaf.
I kept thinking
Goulash.
Olaf from
Goulash.
Olaf
Um,
from
this is Olaf. Olaf.
what was it?
Olaf.
Frozen. Speaking of
And
cold,
my name is, let me guess. That's right. Gordon.
Classic.
Oh,
What were you saying, Dan? Olaf?
I don't remember. Olaf is not Olaf.
yeah.
And he was working hard, and that group was.
Hardly
pushing
working,
it.
am I right?
Up here.
I don't know. I don't know. So poor guy. I mean, it's just.
We're
that
getting
was
dark,
dark.
too.
It was sad,
Affected
right?
us.
Because
It was.
he met his
Watch-
demise
you're watching
ultimately,
him
which
die.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. They introduce you to these characters as you're going, and you're like, well, which one are they going to lean into this week? You just don't
Yeah.
know. And then they kind of introduce another character, like they leaned into Andy Serkis' character. What was his name?
Oh, gosh. What is his name?
I thought you had on
don't
that
remember.
paper there. Don't you got on that paper there?
No.
Kino Loy? Kino Loy.
So
What's his
he's,
name?
well, they kind of lean into him now because obviously
Yeah.
the prison break,
Which
they
I-
want it to happen.
Yeah.
I like his acting.
Yeah.
But then they also leaned into this old man and his
Olaf.
sad
Olaf.
demise.
Olaf.
It's sad to even say because we didn't really get to know him. But when you start leaning into something like that after like
Yeah.
psychological torture,
Right.
you're like,
Right.
could you like? It's like
Well,
the right hook with the left jab, or something, or
Punches.
an
I
uppercut.
wish we had 3D glasses. for
Right?
that.
I wish you had a third arm go up. Like, we'd be like, how'd you do that?
It could be done.
we can do it in
Yeah.
post.
Wait a minute.
So anyway, I guess it's just
Yeah, but
it's sad.
just to piggyback off that real quick,
Piggyback.
I like even with Olaf, they showed his descent a little bit in the previous, I think, 2 episodes where he was struggling every once in a while. And that's why it wasn't like out of left field. Like we kind of knew it was coming in a certain way.
I figured he was just getting old and he wasn't able to use his hands as well.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think it was going to be what it was in this episode.
But the whole point, though, was even that other guy saying they're never letting us out of here.
Yeah.
And really, the crux of this whole episode, the arc of this episode in regards to Andor is, well, it's how dark the Empire is, for one thing, but is they are not they're indentured servitude. They will never be let go.
Yep.
They are there for life.
Yep.
They just don't know it. So they're working as hard as they can, thinking they can get out. That's another form of psychological torture. That is torture. So the whole episode should have just been everybody's getting tortured.
It's
in
literally
some ways.
infinite free labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're dangling the carrot
Yep.
that they're never going to get you.
Well,
And that's what I liked with Andy Serkis's character,
Mm-hmm.
which we
Because
just
he's
said,
super
and I just
close.
forgot it.
and he
Kino.
loves carrots.
Kino. He loves carrots.
Yeah.
Gollum. No,
He does.
he likes bananas.
He likes potatoes.
Snoke.
No. No, Caesar.
He likes potatoes.
Caesar.
Isn't he potatoes they get from Bagginses?
Yeah,
Yes.
so Gollum.
That's Caesar.
Okay.
No, that's Gollum.
Yes.
Get
Snoke.
I don't even know
Get
what
your
we're talking
CGI
about at this
characters
point.
right.
Right.
Gollum's is potatoes.
The original King Kong.
Gollum.
2006 King Kong.
Actually, didn't he do?
yeah, he was King Kong.
I
Wow.
forgot about that.
Wow.
That was funny. So 2 bananas.
2 bananas.
Caesar. So he plays a monkey in that, which
And a
likes
gorilla.
bananas.
An ape.
An ape who likes monkeys.
An
I mean,
And
likes
Snoke.
Bananas.
Planet of
Who-
the Monkeys.
Who kills Gollum?
Who kills Gollum? We're just mixing everything. up.
This is a
Throw it out.
great movie. I think we should rate it.
We should write it. It's just all.
We'll call it Circus. It's beautiful.
It's all
Andy
Serkis.
Serkis playing his characters
His
and
CGI
also him
characters.
in there. But
It's in his
just
mind.
It's
Like,
just called
in-
Circus.
It's in his mind, and it's all those characters
Yeah.
having like conversations
Oh
or
my
like things
gosh.
are happening.
That's genius.
It's a psychological thriller.
It's just like Tony Gilroy.
This stuff
they should
just rates
write it.
itself. I'm telling you.
Just like cereals.
I swear,
Yes.
if in the next 5 years they come out with a movie called Circus and that's the premise, they're copying everything from the show.
I agree. That may be his like autobiography
Yeah.
title or documentary.
We are
of his
suing
life.
for the rights.
we thought of it
Intellectual
before.
property.
Guys, we have it archived.
Yeah.
Patent pending.
Yeah, patent pending,
Patent
registered
pending.
trademark,
We
copyright,
saw-
And our
infringement.
channel just got canceled because
Right,
Steam
yeah.
on it.
Oh yeah, it's we have no record of it. What do you mean? Go to YouTube, everything's gone.
Dan, record
Like,
this
no.
off of YouTube.
No,
Oh, we just got
Stop it.
200 subscriber.
right? Woo!
Business is booming.
Booming,
Booming. Shoot.
circus.
What were we talking about before this?
I don't
All right,
even
we
know.
were back. Yeah, no, I was gonna say
Prison.
Andy Serkis's character
Yeah.
actually had an arc in this, which I
Yeah.
really enjoyed. It was the realization, basically, that he's not getting out.
Yeah.
and they find and his because he's a true believer in this place.
Yeah.
when we first meet him.
Rehabilitation.
And he's talking about and getting
Yeah.
out of there. If they just
Yeah.
listen and do what they're told, they can get out. And
Yep.
that's his plan too.
Which is subverted by the whole whatever happened on
Level
level
2,
2.
which I thought that was
That was
fascinating too.
it's another psychological horror trope.
Yeah,
It's like some guy was released on 4 and then put back in on 2,
and
and then everybody found out and freaked
so
out.
they killed them all.
Yeah. And it's like, what?
and that's what happened on 2.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
'cause there was that whole moment
That's
that
what
was
happened on
heavy
2.
in the prison.
Uh-huh.
Like the whole thing, you're riding
were
through.
like,
It's like,
what's
are they going to
going
break
on?
And
out?
that's why
Yeah.
they finally realized that they're not letting anybody out.
That's when Andy Serkis
Uh,
finally
yeah.
comes to the realization because they show Andor trying to like wear him down
Yeah.
to get information from him to do a breakout.
Yeah. How many guards are on
How many
there?
guards?
How did he get his
Level.
bunk across from him? He wasn't there the whole time.
I don't think
Did
he was.
you get promoted in bunk
Or maybe
status?
he was. He might have been.
He might have.
He might have actually been across
Yeah.
from him.
Also, I will say, the whole joke about him doing CGI characters. I'm glad they didn't go CGI with him. on
Yeah,
this.
no, agreed.
Like, he's good in mocap, but I'd rather see the real person.
because he's such a good actor
He is.
without.
He's got
mocap,
mad chops.
He does. He's got range, baby.
Range.
Range.
What?
What?
And
He's got good hair. I do like his
His
hair.
hair was
Also,
nice
yeah,
to
that's
coif.
the one part I didn't like. Just when he's freaking out, and his hair's all unkempt, and then the next shot, it's just perfect.
I thought
It's
he put his-
immaculate.
I thought he did this. I thought
Well, he did, but it was like
Smooth his
it wasn't.
hair back.
It wasn't that good.
smooth.
It was more like this.
You don't know his hair.
And then the next scene, it was like that,
Let's all do it
and
together.
he was like, so suave.
Smooth your hair back.
Smooth your hair back. Wait.
I can't really do it. I got.
Smooth your hair
back. So anyway,
But yeah,
no,
and then we find out Ulaf
Ulaf.
has a stroke.
Yeah, that was dark. And
It was
he only,
very dark.
And that was
And he was just, going.
it
goof-
was sad.
kooky.
It was sad,
was.
man, because everybody was trying to like help him and stuff like that. He literally only had 40 days left.
40 shifts.
Well,
40 shifts.
How many
Like,
shifts a day?
not really. but
Probably
know.
one day.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I would have guessed.
So
They don't think about it as days
okay.
because they can't
Yeah.
see the sun rising.
right, that's why they say.
Oh, I
shifts.
see.
Yeah.
But
That's
man,
twisted.
but then the realization, because he was like, man, he only has 40 shifts left, is what Andy Serkis's character is
Yeah.
saying. You got to help him, and that doctor's like,
Yeah.
he knows the truth.
There's nothing.
He
I
knows.
can-
He's like, and then he even said, "You're gonna wish."
This is
in a week you're gonna.
Did he
wish-
say in a week?
Yeah.
He said in a week you're gonna wish
For what he's getting,
for what he's getting.
which is basically a kill. Euthanasia.
How does he know the time
euthanasia.
frame? That's the only thing. How does that doctor, who's also an inmate, know a time frame for when?
Well, he knows. He knows what happened on level 2.
He's all over.
So-
Why is he
Yeah.
saying the
Yeah.
week thing? What's
Everybody's
the
gonna
week thing?
figure it out soon enough.
Yeah, so that's an intrigue into the next
Yeah.
episode or two. I think maybe they're just gonna crack down on punishment, or they're gonna try and or reset.
Or do
They
you
might
think
just
they
kill-
have the engine? Have they built what they need to build, and now they're going to shut the whole place down?
It's possible.
Maybe. Yeah. How do
know.
you think they're gonna get out?
Maybe not.
Oh well, they were kind of
Boots.
discussing this this episode whenever, because he said the elevator isn't electrocuted or electrified,
Oh, okay.
so they're gonna rush the elevator with the one guard, take him out, get the boots, get the prodder thing or whatever, the cattle prod, and I think go from there. I don't know. They didn't really explain.
It's
They
gotta
were
be
cutting
one
on that
person.
Just
wire
gotta do
thing
it.
too, so I don't know what that was
Yeah,
about.
the
If they could
toilet.
cut the
Yeah,
power,
it was interesting. Yeah.
I think so. I think that's what it's for.
was it a gas line?
Well,
I don't know if it was a
power
gas
went
line or
out.
if it was a power line.
I
That
think
they were
it's
trying-
for the floor.
that
yeah.
access panel, and
Yeah.
that's right there in the bathroom.
Right.
Right.
Where they
It's
know
kind of
that's the
convenient.
only place they can go privately.
Yeah,
And they're
Not
allowed
even
to
privately.
go.
There's no door.
There's no door, but
Yeah.
they,
Yeah.
I
it's
don't
a bad
know.
design there.
There's some questions there, but back to the
Unless it was
It
a
just-
septic line.
It just shows you the arrogance of the Empire.
It was a water. So it is a
Water
water
line.
pipe, which
Okay.
might short out the.
or at least it causes a
Or
crew to
make-
come down and fix it.
Yeah, make
Right.
everything else more electrified.
Yeah, it could be bad.
Ooh.
Literally, it's just a ticking time bomb.
I
Hey,
just
let's
wonder.
electrocute the
Toaster in the
floor.
bath.
Oh no!
I'm just afraid that Andor's gonna escape, but everybody else in this way is
Oh.
gonna die.
I think.
I hope not.
You
No,
know what
I
I'm saying?
think,
Because Andor leaves a wake of bad
Death.
things.
Oh yeah, he's gonna find a gun and just shoot people.
Yeah, it just blow him
no
away.
questions asked.
Even his friends, they're like,
Right.
"You know too much."
Yeah. Andy Serkis is gonna proposition him. He's like, you know how much is in that? About 80,000 credits.
Yeah, it's like boom.
he just shoots.
I'm just kidding.
I was just
Oh
kidding.
my gosh.
No,
I was just making a joke.
I don't know. I don't think Andy Serkis' character is gonna make it out.
No,
I think he's gonna sacrifice himself.
most of
in
them
the
will.
end,
Yeah, and he'll be like,
or something like
"I'm
that.
gonna die for you people."
Yeah, I think he's realizing
He's gonna
this is the end for him in some ways.
full circle here. He's gonna be on a bridge, and just his head showing, and he's gonna say, "Fly, you fools!"
yeah,
Because he played Gollum in Lord of the Rings.
yeah, Gandalf.
Anyway,
Yeah, that was a good one. Or it would be cool if he does make it out and they make him a character in the rebellion
Yeah.
for the next couple seasons.
Right.
That he's actually in
no,
the
he
rebellion.
actually does become Snoke.
Oh, yeah.
He gets electrocuted so much.
Oh
that
my
is
just
goodness.
Snoke's-
Wow.
Origin
story. Oh my gosh!
Full
If that is
circle.
true, that
Would that
That'd be
excuse
nuts.
something, or
Hilarious.
would that make you angry?
I don't know.
I'd
I
be
feel
angry.
conflicted.
Maybe
It's a conundrum.
It's a
A
convoluted conundrum.
That was my next transition.
Because his mind gets jambled from the electric shock. That's why he would work for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets fried,
He gets
but he doesn't
fried
die,
so
and he gets
bad.
scarred up.
Yeah.
But how does
And
he
his
grow
face
like
is all
3 feet?
They stretch him while he's electrified.
They have other torture chambers.
Right.
He's like
The taffy puller.
and is hot
Like
like three
from,
times that day.
Have you seen the movie Treasure Planet or not
Muppet
Treasure Planet,
Treasure
Muppet
Island?
Treasure Island where they
He's
stretch?
just like, oh, yeah.
What's his name?
I haven't felt this good in years.
What's his name?
Gonzo.
Gonzo, yeah.
Speaking of torture,
Yeah, and then
Speaking
they
of
let him go, and he goes back.
Disney has a history of torture.
the last thing I was going to say in relation to that is just the callback to the never-ending cycle of prisoners and World War II.
Yeah,
It's just a direct reference to
Slave labor.
yeah,
Yeah.
something that we know, and the way that they lied to them and told them, oh yeah, in 100 shifts you're out.
Right. You're gonna
Or-
be fine.
Oh, sorry, there's a delay. Actually, we're keeping you here because the Russians are coming. If we don't keep you here, even though you're German, we're gotta protect you from the Russians. And
Right.
da.
prison guards are the
All the lies.
And then they
guards
used,
in, internment camps.
Yep.
but
it
they
is.
used the local leaders to,
Yeah.
they strong armed him or paid him off or
Yeah.
whatever.
The
So-
ISB is the SS.
So he's got Andy
Yeah.
Serkis working against his own guys, but now that Andy Serkis is finally turned, now the tables are going to turn or something.
my, how the turntables.
Nailed it.
Wiki.
All right.
But bringing it to something lighter, Cyril Karn, people. Let's
Cyril
let's touch
Karn.
on that.
Mr. Cringe.
Let's touch on that right after
This video.
This
this video. Watch
also
it.
totally
Enjoy
called it.
Yeah, it could happen, but it seems kind of convoluted.
He's got to work eventually with the lead ISB girl.
I see you, girl.
That's kind of what I
Yeah.
was thinking he's going.
He's-
I feel
I
like
think
he's
he's
gonna
gonna-
end up joining the ISB.
Yeah.
And then they'll get married, and then they'll have a kid, and that kid will be who?
I,
I have no idea.
Okay.
It'd have to be somebody
Bad.
Agent Callus.
You'd see a callus.
No,
No,
the timeline wouldn't
timeline's
work.
not-
It's gonna be Grief Carter.
How is that even
I don't know. We're spitballing, man.
spitball?
It's gonna be Queel. I got it. Frog Lady.
Probably.
Okay,
All
now we're
right.
just rambling.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out of here. Let's get the heck on out of here.
Beautiful video.
That was
Oh.
great work, Dan. That was
Yeah.
hilarious. Oh
Ooh.
my goodness. But
Spot on, too.
yeah,
It's
we
fun.
called it.
From what we saw in
That
this
was
episode.
from was that last episode? Or
No.
the episode before? That was
That
2
was
episodes ago.
When we were talking about
Yep.
6 and 7. So
Yep.
I don't know if it was 6 or 7 that we were in.
67.
I think it was 7, but
My football number.
we saw the trouble brewing.
Happy birthday.
We saw the trouble
Happy
brewing,
birthday,
right?
Matt.
Because that was before he got.
Sorry, go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
We
We're off
didn't.
in La La
You're
Land
right.
over
We didn't
here.
say anything, but no. We that's before they interrogated him, at least.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had released the other video. Anyway, the
conundrum.
other one we showed last week about him and his sadness and whatnot. Sad Cyril is what it should have said.
Sad. Cyril.
Sad Cyril eating a cereal,
Yep.
obsessed with an ISB.
Next show, next videos.
It's gonna be Serial Carnage.
Yeah.
Serial
That's his
Carnage.
full name.
And
Serial
then we
Carnage.
called it. I mean, we were talking about it then, and I was just like, we mentioned it. I was like, it's just gotta happen. Like they're
Yeah.
gonna get
Yeah.
together,
And it
and then I
totally
joked
did.
about the kids.
Well-
and
Somewhat.
now it's starting to come true. It's ringing true in a similar but surprising way.
In a dark
Yeah.
way in some ways.
Dark
Again,
creepy
Twisted.
it was what, Matt?
Cringy way.
Creepy, cringy, what all the above.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Probably couldn't understand what I just said.
Yeah. Matt knows a thing or two about being cringy, right, Matt?
Wow. Shots fired. Shots fired.
Beautiful. He knows I'm joking.
No, he's right.
I'm not joking.
He's totally what?
What?
All right.
I heard
whatever.
it. I heard it.
Dan's going like heard it because he's got headphones on.
Said from start to beginning.
From start to beginning. Dang it.
Oh man.
Full circle.
Full circle.
No, that was there was a
Engage.
scene where let's talk about that scene real quick.
Yeah.
We got to wrap up and get out of here. But that scene was very cringy. He was
Oh,
he's
man.
creepy. Serial Carnage is creepy. Okay.
Serial Carnage.
The conundrum, the convoluted conundrum.
Convoluted conundrum.
Man.
He is like
got-
stalking her.
He's got eyes for Deidre.
He does. But
Creepy
the
eyes.
creepiest thing though was even what Dan was saying. It's not like he's after, like he
He's
wants
not-
her.
yeah.
It's like he wants what she wants.
Yeah.
Which
which he's excited about. He wants her because
Yeah,
he wants
just
her
weird.
passion
Yeah.
for getting Andor.
Yeah.
Like
He's like, you want Andor
I
too.
can't even explain it.
Just
Like,
being
doesn't
in your
that-
presence.
Yeah.
I know what I'm meant to do.
Yeah.
And then
I
he
was
goes
like,
way over the line by grabbing her arm.
Right.
He made his move, man.
He absolutely stalked her. But the thing is, it would have fit if they had like kissed or something, right? It would have been a sick, twisted thing. But
It's
like,
gonna happen.
I have expected.
I
like,
think it's gonna happen.
how
in the
not
next
to
two
she
pick up
hates
women.
him.
By
But-
serial Karn.
No, in some ways, bold move, man.
Bold move. Ball's in her court, you know?
It is. It is.
Wow.
And
She
look,
threatened to arrest him.
I
mean,
think it went well.
You could say things are getting pretty serious.
look, it's crazy only if it doesn't work.
right?
If it works, genius.
Genius
Yeah.
move.
I mean,
He
after
has made his move, and he's made his mark. She's thinking about him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, she
Even
is thinking about him.
Any
Maybe not in the best
publicity
way.
is good
I don't-
Not in
publicity.
the greatest way.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think if they did have kids, it would be somebody way worse.
It
Than,
would.
it would be
Oh my
like
gosh.
Emperor Palpatine
It's
himself or
Snoke.
something.
Yep.
It's Snoke.
It's
yeah.
Snoke.
Oh my gosh.
It's something. There's
That's how
something
he just
going
all
on.
deformed.
I mean,
Oh,
that
God.
is some twisted stuff right there. Like they each out twist each other.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying? Like she's
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing here?" And he's like, "I'm not scared of you." He's like, "I'm
He's
gonna
like-
stalk you if I want to stalk you." And
She's like,
You're the
you
only one
stay
that
away
believes
from
me.
It's my
But
choice.
she's like,
secretly, I like that you're
she's like,
stalking
"You
me."
love Cassie.
Yeah.
You love chasing Cassie and Andor too. Don't ever do that or talk about it again."
You wanna
And then
join
they
my
go
club?
Back and forth. And he's like, "I love that you love to chase Cassian."
Right.
And she's like, "Well, I chase Cassian. You don't chase Cassian, or you don't love that I love chasing Cassian."
It was also that he got a promotion from them
That's
working together.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
so he's almost taking. It's like a stalker
Yeah.
taking that to the
Yeah.
next level. Like you looked at me, so you must like me.
Yeah.
You looked my
Like, it
direction.
was like that. It was creepy.
Yeah,
It
he's
was.
like, "Oh, thanks for the promotion."
Super
She's like,
creepy.
"I didn't do the
Like,
promotion."
we just
you
put in a
s-
good recommendation or something like that.
She's just playing hard to get.
She's
You
playing
know
hard to
that.
get.
She
Aw,
might
man.
be.
Threatening him with
Yeah.
arresting him and whatnot.
She just wants to talk to him again. She's just-
Asking if he's stalking her when she knows he is.
yeah, when she sent the recommendation, she left her address
Right.
of where she works.
Little hearts
It
around
was all
it.
code.
Yeah.
He listened to it, and actually every other word she said was the actual.
Right.
Oh man,
Yeah, I can never read that.
I wonder
guy.
if the show's
like-
gonna end
he's
with
like-
like Cassian walking up to both of them and going, "Boom, boom." They're just
No,
done.
they're just getting together. Like, I
Right,
love you.
yeah.
I love you. Let's get rid of the Empire. Cassian's like,
right.
Yes, exactly.
It's like you
And
are
then he
a pain
takes-
in the butt.
and then he takes their screams and
Oh man.
Turns it into torture against the
torture
Empire.
for Imperials
Oh
whenever
my
they
gosh.
interrogate Imperials.
And then
It's the screams of other
Wow.
true Imperials
Oh,
dying.
And Carla did say, "I loved your short about them, as well as the short you did last week. You guys are so
Oh.
creative, and they made me laugh so much." Thanks for
so
watching it.
funny,
Yeah,
We're
though.
glad you liked it.
This-
It was,
How do we just call this stuff?
the
all
Cyril
time?
saga.
Is it getting that predictable?
when you're this good, you're this good.
We're living in the fourth dimension, people.
Well, I think they leaned into it, but I don't know.
4 dimensions.
Fact checkers just saying we're so
so
in tune
Well, they're just
tuned.
you
with
know,
the
those-
Star Wars pulse. I think we really are
Well,
actually.
you can't help it. You know, those people like they both are
Names.
creepy. Okay, creepy plus creepy.
Equals
Then you got
super creepy.
Sleuthing. Subverting the rules. Like she's busting it up with the head ISB guy. Like, I'm gonna tell you what to do. You know?
Yeah.
And he's finally like, I guess I like that.
Right.
The head ice. No, she's playing within the rules, but
No, she. That's how she got the because she was overstepping, even researching about
Oh,
Andor.
right. Well, she
And
wasn't
then-
overstepping the head ISB.
Yeah,
she was overstepping the what's his
other-
name?
Right,
The
but then
other
he
person.
was like, the one guy was calling her out for breaking the rules. He's like,
Right.
"You're not supposed to do that." And then he's like, "Oh, somebody that thinks outside the box. I like that."
Right. Well, he's all about progress, and so I think
Well.
in his mind, it's like, look, somebody's actually a go-getter and making progress in this area.
So,
And
But
it's
I see
not
what you're
just
saying.
some-
He still is, even
Not just some pipe dream.
no, and
He's
even
actually
it's-
getting results.
and what she said. I think the biggest thing she said to him was, "We either adapt or die."
Yeah.
And
Dance
she said that right to him, and I was like,
Dance or
"Sheesh."
die. Family Force 5.
Nice
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
That has some 80s kind of tones to it.
vibes.
Anyway,
All right.
let's wrap this up,
Final thoughts.
baby. Let's give it some. We missed some key
What
points.
key
the fact
points?
checker? Oh yeah, we
miss
didn't even talk
anything.
about Mon Mothma. Thank
Yeah,
you,
Mon
fact checker.
Mothma.
Mon
was in
Mothma's
this
got-
episode.
Wasn't that important?
Yeah, it
She's
wasn't
got
really
troubles.
impressive.
She's got troubles.
She got financial troubles.
We
She's
saw
not
the
really rich.
She's not rich
Well, she
anymore.
is still. Yeah, she's still pretty
No.
rich.
No, man, the new rules make they're drying the well.
It's just harder for her to
Yeah.
funnel money areas that she
Yeah.
wants to be
She needs to
raising
win
money.
the Powerball.
she can't just donate it to places to charities
Powerball.
without it.
The only thing
Powerball.
I'll say, the only thing I didn't like about her in this was I feel like they are showing her a scared all the time. Almost.
scared.
A scared.
She's a scared.
It's not just scared; it's a scared. I think.
I
yeah.
think eventually she's gonna
Yeah.
get to the point like, you know what? I don't
You
even
know
care
what?
anymore.
But-
And then she's gonna shoot somebody like Andor does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe that's the character arc they're going
She's
for.
gonna-
But
you think she's gonna kill her husband?
oh man, that would be dark.
Wouldn't that be something?
I don't know.
Could get to that
What
point. No,
happens
but I
to
mean,
her-
obviously she.
Also,
defects.
yeah, what happens to her daughter?
I have no idea.
I don't care because she's a brat.
She's
She is. She's a snooty,
That was
Wow.
dark.
uptight. Reminds me of this
You-
generation.
you'll
kind
like
of
her a
person.
lot more if you watch Winnie the Pooh.
We neither. Oh,
I feel like I
bother.
don't
Oh,
want to watch Winnie the
bother.
Pooh.
She's in Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, in the live action.
Oh, I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
she does a good
Yeah, we
job.
talked about
Your
this.
letters
Oh yeah,
broken.
speaking of dark, we forgot to mention one thing.
We're in the light side now.
Olger. This is a
Yes.
fun fact.
Oh no, it's a fun fact. It's a light.
Ulaf.
Oh
dark
yeah,
fact.
what?
Why do you keep saying Olger?
I don't know. Okay,
It's like auger or ogre.
yeah.
It's like when
Olga.
Australian people add an R at the end of every word that ends in A.
Ulaf.
It's like an Australian way to say
Doesn't
Olga.
even make sense.
Olga.
Ulafger.
Ulafger.
Olafger.
Ulafger.
It sounds like
Russian.
Viking.
Yeah. Ulafger. Ulafger.
Well, Ulaf
Ugh.
is Danish, right? Aren't they in Denmark?
Olaf.
Norway.
Norway.
Sweden.
What are we talking
Name
about?
countries.
Europe.
Did Dan just stroke out?
I'm nervous. Name countries.
Oh, speaking of strokes, that was
Oh,
sad.
yeah.
Too soon.
We already
But
mentioned
back
that.
to
though.
Olaf.
That was
Ulaf.
sad. That was heavy and
It's
sad.
Olaf. Anyway, Olaf.
It is Ulaf.
Speaking of darkness, and we said Batman earlier.
Yeah.
He was in the Batman with the 1980 was it
9.
89?
1989.
Oh, that's a
Michael
good year.
Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
One of the best Batman.
The Vulture.
He was a thug in Batman that led to one of the famous lines that said, "I am Batman.
I'm Batman.
I'm Batman."
Oh, I can-
So it's full circle, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's a fun little thing. Go ahead.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts, baby.
Final thoughts.
You got some final thoughts there, Pacovia?
You mean Panchovia?
I don't know. What I'm saying anymore.
Who is that?
No, all in
Ulaf.
all, good episode. Like we said earlier, the writers know what they're doing.
Professionals,
I don't understand how you can screw up 2 original trilogy characters
idiocy.
and then just nail this Andor out of the park when he's not even a main character
Professionals.
in that one movie, Rogue One.
Brilliant.
And he dies in the end. We already know the end, but we still want to know what's going on.
It's still fascinating. It's prequels done right.
It is. I just don't understand how you didn't have this team writing Obi-Wan or Boba. Come on,
I want
Because
some
they want
Boba.
to upset everyone.
engage.
That was a Nick rant.
Also-
I love Nick rants.
Don't treat us like we're dumb,
Yeah. That
please. This show proves that. We like this show. The other two, you treated us like we were idiots, like we didn't know what was going on. Everybody knows what's going on. We're Star Wars fans. We know everything.
hallelujah. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Preach it, brother.
Praise the Lord.
Seriously, man, that was good.
Yeah.
I feel like, man,
I'm all fired up now.
yeah, passionate. We
Like-
are passionate Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
If you don't get anything from this,
We're passionate.
that's your problem.
Also, stop pushing agendas.
Just joking. Yeah.
Just
yeah.
tell a story.
Knock it off.
Tell the story.
Don't be talking about one thing and then do something else that doesn't even need to be there.
Yeah.
Preach it, brother.
Yeah.
Stay on target.
Stay on
Get an
target.
amen.
Stay in your lane, Star Wars.
Yeah.
I didn't really.
Otherwise,
Sorry, that wasn't as good. Go
stay
back
in
to
your
Nick.
lane, Star Wars. No, but yeah, no. It's what the shows are supposed to be like. You know, like Mandalorian, good.
Good.
Andor, good. Boba, bad. Obi-Wan, bad. What are you doing? They're all supposed to be good. Okay, I'm done. Yeah.
Okay, man. When you go on those rants, we just gotta let them
Oh
go.
man, yeah.
That is some pure quality Star Wars passion gold right
Yeah.
there. It's like nuggets of gold were just falling off you.
Yeah.
That's
Truths.
But it proves the fandom here because we didn't completely fall off the bandwagon with the previous garbage, right?
Yeah.
We still have hope,
We were close.
like the rebellion.
Honestly, if this show would have been bad,
I agree.
I don't think we would be watching it. We wouldn't even be reviewing it.
No,
Yeah, no.
no,
We'd be
we'd
like,
be back
"Yep,
from
we're
Mando.
done.
We come
Sorry."
back from Mando.
I think I feel like we're the Star Wars remnant in some ways.
Ooh.
Like we're the
Or
fans
the resistance.
that
Oh, wait,
aren't
no.
gonna
We're
let
not that.
we're like the fans that aren't gonna let Star Wars die.
Yeah.
Disney's trying to kill it, and we're here. We're the rebellion in
Yeah.
some ways. Yeah, but the
We're the
remnant of the
re-
rebellion because a
remnant of the
lot of the
rebellion,
other
yeah.
rebellion has fallen off at this point. They've
Yeah.
given up hope.
Yeah.
I think we're still here knowing that Star Wars can still get
There's
better.
a light at the end of this
We're
tunnel.
still here. 'cause
20 miles away, but
don't
it's
know how to
there.
end a
Still
video.
there.
We're
And it's
still
a
in this
candle.
one video. We haven't even closed out.
Right?
All right, the candle is a
Yeah.
mile away.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
let's close
yeah.
out.
Rate-
So
let's rate this.
Let's rate this sucker and get on up out of
Sucker.
here. Those are some good points. Thank you, fact checker, for bringing those up.
Yeah.
There were still two more. We'll have to touch on those another
Yeah,
time.
It's gone too long.
Oh, the gangster
Gangsta.
and the extremists.
Wait, what gangster? Oh, the
Rebels.
banker?
Yeah, that's
The rich
interesting.
He's
gangster.
a banker. He's not
Banker.
a gangster.
No.
What,
What's his
Dave
name?
Holden?
Thug.
Davo or
Davos.
something. Yeah, I'm curious
Yeah,
to see
thug.
who he's
That was
all
interesting.
about.
Yeah. Anton Krieger.
Why does that sound familiar?
That sounds super familiar. About Anton
Yeah,
Krieger.
okay. That's
oh,
where we heard it.
Krieger, yeah.
Ah, that's why the Empire's after him because
Yeah.
they know.
Yeah.
They're gonna
Ah.
close the
They're
door.
all connecting the dots.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Those were great points. I wish we had more time to go into it, but
Yep.
we don't. Yeah, those are
Yeah.
just
I
kind of
wonder who's
teaser
going to
things.
play
that-
these characters.
I hope they get some good actors again.
mean, they-
with
I'm
casting
actually
so
flying
far,
over
they're
I'm
gonna
thinking
nail it.
like maybe throw in Sam Witwer.
Dude, Sam Witwer's been in it.
Yeah, I
But-
know,
but
but make
bring
him
him-
an actual
Why
like
haven't
main
they-
character.
I know. I hate that they don't do that.
Yeah.
I
Is
feel
the
like they got him in his
thug-
their back
Yeah.
pocket. or
Yeah, they're like,
something.
oh man, he's gonna be great
But we're not gonna use them.
eventually.
What, Dan?
Do you think the thug is going to be an alien?
I hope so.
They
That'd be
usually
dope.
are.
That'd be dope sauce.
That'd be dope sauce.
Oh, the
But-
thug? But I thought it was Chan. Was he still Chandrillon? Oh, he might be
Chandrillon,
No, what's the alien?
Techno Union.
No, the alien species that does the banking clan as the separatists.
Yeah, they're kind of long-headed and whatnot.
I think he's a Mune. I think is
Immune,
what it's
yep.
called.
That's what those are.
MUUN or something
Long-headed and
like that.
They're like
They're
not
like
red
long
eyes.
heads. Yeah, tall
Yeah.
heads.
Yeah.
Tall heads.
Anyway, Plagueis was actually supposed to be immune.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Yeah. He was
No
so
power.
powerful.
Speaking of that, this is what
Yeah.
this is.
Callback.
All right, so
yeah,
let's rate it.
Rate it. Rate it.
I'm gonna give this one. Ooh, I'm gonna give it I'm gonna stick solid 9. Solid
Yeah.
9. It was really good.
Sticking with the German, eh?
I'll give it
9.
No, I mean,
9.
yeah.
9. Engage.
We stay on target here.
9.
Stay on target.
Good choice.
What'd you?
I'll think. Stroke. Sorry.
the
too
theme,
soon.
The running theme of this episode.
Yeah, I would say a 9.25 for me.
Oh,
9.25. Wow, even
Yeah.
higher. Wow.
Yeah.
Bumping.
It was good.
Like if it had action in it,
We didn't even
it
go on
might
negatives.
even be close to a 10.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I dig it.
But yeah, it was a
All
good
right, Matthew
psychological
Moo.
thriller of an episode. Come on, Matt.
Baby
yes.
Wait, no,
Yes.
that's
Baby
last
Matt.
9.
Roof Matt.
9.
Wow.
He refuses
Wow,
to
even
answer.
without the action. That's how good it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are better things
sold
than
him on the-
action.
It's, it was,
It's called torture.
the torture did it for me.
The torture did it for me.
The torture did it.
No,
Oh
I think
my gosh.
you know it got him.
I'll arrest you later.
He was on the edge of his seat. You know, he
Being
wasn't
in
sure
your
whether to
presence.
run or close his
I
eyes.
wanted to.
What are you gonna rate it, Danny?
I gotta be at about a. I'm up there. I think I like Nick's call.
You're out there.
I don't usually say the same number as other humans, but I did last week, so I gotta say 9.25.
Well, joke's on you. I'm an android.
If you were an alien, we can share numbers.
Right.
Oh
I'm a
man.
meat.
Not humans. 9.25. So that's an average score of above 9.
Development.
I'm good at this.
Oh, meat bag is
Meat bag. Yeah.
Bellator.
Yeah.
So on that bombshell.
on
Yeah.
that bombshell.
There's 2 different conversations going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Sorry.
always doing that.
Listen to the
Stay on
important
target.
one.
And I was just listening.
Nobody's.
Yep. Matt's
Matt's
just.
listening.
I was trying to. I
All right,
had this
Matt, take
conversation
away.
and Conversation.
Yeah. All right, Matt.
All right, Matt,
Close
close
us
us out.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't think we could have said it any better.
Yeah,
I don't
no.
think I could have been more clear.
Was that not clear?
Was that not clear?
Get out
Thanks for
of
watching. Again, we appreciate you. If you made it this far, you get a Wookiee cookie, imaginary Wookiee cookie. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies, tell your creepy stalkers to go away.
But that you secretly like.
But you secretly like.
That they're stalking you.
If their name
I
is
think the point
Cyril.
of this episode is make a move, baby. Make a
No
move.
matter how desperate it seems, make that move.
What's the name of the
You might
episode?
get smacked with a lawsuit, but at least you
Nobody's
tried.
watching? Nobody's listening.
Nobody's listening.
And I don't think anybody else is
Wow.
listening at this point. So let's get out of
No,
here.
people are listening, and
Let's
people are
get outta
watching this
here.
as well. So that's what I said. Like,
Let's go make our moves, people.
whether or not they want to hear what we have to say on this live stream, they enjoy the Cyril series, the Sad Cyril series,
the sad
Cyril
carnage.
Serial
that is
series.
a tongue twister.
What?
I'm working on it,
Serial carnage.
and
Yeah.
so then we got to have a part 3 because it just leveled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
We'll
did.
continue with this,
made
and we'll
that
update you. We'll predict the future of what's going to happen next week. Do you think a kiss is coming?
Oh, most
I
definitely.
hope so.
I hope not.
I feel like it'll
I only
be-
want it because we
But
called
they're
it.
gonna hate each other so much.
It's like I hate you.
It's
Oh, man.
it's trippy. It's dark.
Yeah.
But-
Make that move, baby.
Make that move. Nobody's watching.
Nobody's listening. All right.
Oh.
Let's wrap this up with a bow and give it to a child on Christmas.
This psychological torment.
On that psychological torment. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you all. We'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week.
I just
Just
stroked
cut
out.
the feed.
Although we do have to review my contract. Maybe I'll be here. Maybe I won't. Maybe we'll all be here.
Don't
Maybe we
plan
won't.
on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, you stay classy, and we'll see you on the next episode of Stay on Target.
And scene.
See you later.